Henderson Investigations. It's your alarm company. There's been a break-in at your house.
Margot.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Tommy.
I know I should have called, but I wanted to surprise you. And the key didn't work. And so I set off your alarm and I may have broken through your door. But I'll fix it.
It's okay. Guys, he really is my brother. Thank you.
You couldn't have called first? Don't pretend you didn't miss me.
You know what I missed? The $750 you still owe me, and that is my jacket you're wearing.
So, what's going on? You look good. You okay?
Actually, I could use your help.
Of course. How much do you need?
No, that's not why I'm here this time. I swear. I got plenty of money. That's the problem. $3 million. The IRS says that it is in a bank account somewhere in my name, and I have to pay taxes on it, but I don't have that kind of money. Or do I? Because it is in my name, and that's my social security number.
It could be an accounting error.
Or identity theft, although they usually take money, they don't give it. Whoever parked this money in your name knew you well enough to think you'd never find it. So is there a roommate or a girlfriend?
No, sadly.
Someone you work with?
Someone you work for?
Could you guys maybe help me find out?
Hello, this is TGIT Facebook Live. I'm Joe Morton from Scandal, and this is
Martin Henderson from Grey's Anatomy.
And I'm Jay Hayden from The Catch. You just watched a clip, a sneak peek of tonight's premiere episode, and I'm pretty sure you probably caught T.R. Knight in there, who is joining the cast this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Just to give you a little bit of backstory, you know, Alice is trying to figure out what's going on with Ben, and in comes her baby brother, who kind of just destroys our world. So that's what you're going to see tonight. Hopefully, possibly.
The Catch tonight. Now, the object of this game, obviously, is that you have all sent us questions. We're going to answer them. And the first question is from Cole H. for you.
Okay.
What was it like stepping into a cast that has been together for so long? Easy, hard, intimidating?
Thanks, Cole H. That's a really great question. It was a lot of things. I think stepping into a cast that had, you know, some of them had been there 12 years when I arrived, certainly was somewhat intimidating. I felt like the new kid at school. Like,
Sure.
Like
you know,
I do right now with you guys.
You're intimidated? You don't be intimidated by us.
But on some level, I guess we've all gone
You
through
guys are the upperclassmen.
Because we're
and
so
I'm,
old?
Like, the new guy.
Is that
No, that is not what I meant.
Oh,
Come on.
I'm sorry.
But no, it was definitely intimidating because I've only ever worked on things that were sort of starting up, you know, and this had been so established. So in terms of, you know, how would I fit in? Luckily, though, I knew Jason George and Sarah Drew from some other jobs that I'd done, so that I think made it a little more comfortable. But it was also exciting to join a show that had such a following. You know, usually you do a pilot or a movie and you hope people watch it. Sometimes they do, sometimes no one does. So the fact that it was so well established and so well loved, I think, was ultimately very exciting.
Great.
Oh, now
Now
okay.
your turn.
Okay, Joe, this is a question for you.
All right.
There's no one down there.
All right.
Very strange technical goings on.
Was Grey's Anatomy your first Shondaland, or had you already had experience?
It was my third.
So you've been in the family.
Show.
You've been
Yeah,
in the mix.
I did a pilot called Inside the Box with Sarah Drew.
Yeah.
Nearly 10 years ago, I think, which was sort of about political journalism in D.C., which would be a very interesting time to do a show like that now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And that show, unfortunately, that pilot never got picked up. But then a couple of years later, Shonda did Off the Map, a sort of Doctors Without Borders show, which I did, and then now Grey's. So yeah, cool. So I'm old hat. You know. There's that word again. Okay. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, we need the secret code.
It just went off. We're having all sorts of technical difficulties here.
All right.
Don't worry, Facebook
08.
Live
Double tap that.
people.
Double-click
We'll be
that.
back with you.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Oh, because we need to put in the code.
It doesn't even ask for a
Yeah,
code.
it's not even giving us a.
Oh, That's a photo.
That's a photo.
So Jay, is this
Yeah.
your first
Give it to me.
experience? I've got a question from Martin H. And he would like to know: was this your first time working for Shondaland?
This was my first time working for Shondaland. And it was, I think I'd have to be honest and say it was a little intimidating. I mean, she has so much success and she has such like a strong fan base and everyone
You were like,
loves
what
her
if
and
I
wants to
ruin
be
it?
on. Yeah, and I'm like,
what if
this.
I'm the one that brings it all
I'm gonna be the
down?
worst one. I'm going to be the worst one. And I remember that table read. I remember the first table read and being like, I was like, okay, just play it cool. And Shonda like looked up like, my first line was of course a joke. I'm like, God, I gotta land a joke. My first line. I can't be like, the dog was found dead over in the street. Like I had to like land a joke, and I said it. I remember her like looking up and laughing, and like she giving me the
laughed.
nod, and I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, we're cool.
Okay.
We're gonna make it.
I'm
We're
in.
gonna make
Okay.
it." So.
See, and I'm kind of in between the two of you guys, figuratively and literally, in that when I joined Scandal, it was the end of the second season. So they'd already sort of achieved their success. I came in at the end of the second season as a recurring.
Yeah.
And then didn't know what was going to happen at the end of that season.
Right. So you were sort of eased into it in a way.
Kind of, sort of,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
mean, the first 6 episodes were kind of easy, but then the beginning of season 3, suddenly, they, both feet in the water.
And did that feel like pressure that you were now like a core member? Was there?
It felt, what, strangely enough, it kind of felt like she was trying something out, because the beginning of season 3, I had like a 2.5-page monologue.
Right.
So I thought, oh, here we go. Now, for me, it was fun, because I was on my way to doing Capulet on Broadway in Romeo and Juliet. So I got to sort of have my cake and eat it too, and that I could do something theatrical on television for a Shondaland show.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you've
I'm
You-
still,
you're
they haven't-
still there,
they haven't
so
killed
yeah,
me
yeah,
yet. That's
yeah.
right.
So it worked.
So I think we're going to get these questions now from off camera.
So Joe,
we aren't trusting with
Well, yeah,
technology.
they don't trust us with the iPad anymore. So, but see, it didn't happen the way you thought. It wasn't you.
It wasn't.
Joe Lynette wants to know what is your favorite scandal scene?
Favorite scandal scene? Well, I suppose the one that always, I think what she's asking is, did I really enjoy doing the boy scene where I call Fitz, the President of the United States, a boy? It's another one of those monologues.
That was a good.
So I think that's probably my favorite scene when actually I'm sitting in a chair in a T-shirt and handcuffs, and he says something insulting about my daughter, which I sort of launch into this enormous monologue about how he's Southern, spoiled, and a boy. It was a lot of fun.
Fun putting down the president.
Yeah.
Jay, Ivana is asking, what's your favorite part about working on the couch?
Thank you, Ivana. My favorite part about working on the catch, to be honest, is the people that I work with. The cast around me they're just such fantastic people. If you've ever met Mireille, the lead of our show,
I have. She's absolutely
one of
adorable person.
Yeah, she's like literally lights up the world when she's there, and I think having when your lead is like that, she kind of sets the tone for the way everybody acts, the way it is, the essence on set, and that's kind of the way it is. So it's like it's a little bit of a love fest. So that is, the story is great, and I love going to work every day. But I think the best part about it is the people that I go to work with.
I think that's probably true for all of us. I mean, that's the thing about Shondaland shows. Same thing with Carrie, someone who sort of sets the tone for the rest of the cast, and it is, as you say, a love fest.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
It's like one big happy family.
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah. The whole of Shondaland is like one big happy family.
I mean, I think they probably take that into consideration on some point, at some part, in terms of who they're actually allowing into the family. So to
Yeah.
speak.
Well, yeah.
Well, they might have made a mistake, but
No, that's not
they let me
true.
slide in.
It's not true. Okay, next question. Oh, for me. Okay.
Martin, Serena G wants to know what made you decide to join Grey's Anatomy?
Oh.
Thanks for the question, Serena G. What made me decide? Well, there were a lot of deciding factors. I was asked by Shonda I had a meeting with Shonda, and we discussed the possibility, and I had a lot of questions. The show had been so long running. I was like, well, is this like the last season? Is this, how invested are you in this show? Does it have a future? Also, I had to get my head around the idea of how long of a commitment I was happy with, because I wasn't used to sort of doing a long-running thing. That freaked me out a bit. But ultimately, I think, like I said before, as an actor, we all want to have our work seen. We all want to have what we do liked. We want an audience. Without an audience, there's no point. But so I think a big part of it was just coming into something that was so well loved. There was a sense of pressure with that, but also it was just exciting. The idea of, it was sort of like being in the wings of a play that had a full house, and you sort of come in the third act, and they're digging it. They love the play. So it was, it was very exciting. And also, this is the first time in years that I've lived and worked in the same town. And that's a really great thing for me too. So, yeah.
All right, Joe. Michelle D wants to know, what do you do to fire yourself up before your big scenes? You are very powerful on screen.
Well, thank you, Michelle D.
He's very powerful off screen too. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I don't think I do anything differently than I've ever done for any particular role or any particular script. There are 5 questions that I ask myself almost for every word in any particular script, and that is, who am I? Where am I going? Who do I expect to meet? And the last 2 are the most important. What do I want, and to what extent am I willing to go to get what I want? And that sort of helps me sort of navigate through whatever that scene is, whatever that speech might be, through the entire script as far as that's concerned. If that's firing oneself up, then that's how I do it.
I wish I had a pencil to write that down. Seriously. I was like this. Remember that, Jay. You should remember
You
that.
could probably get a recording of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to be on Facebook, I
Right.
think.
Got it. Yeah, okay, got it.
It'll never disappear.
Yeah, well,
Oh, God.
it might be down on the bottom of the crawl, but here we go.
Jay, Kevin C wants to know, how similar are you to your character?
Thanks, Kevin C. I'd probably say I'm really similar to the character, and that's only because the show that ended up being The Catch, it was like the second imagining of it. We did the first pilot, and then they kind of redid it. And before they redid our pilot, our showrunner took us all out to lunch or dinner or breakfast and spent time with us, and basically just got a sense of who we were as people, and what we love to do, the way we talked, the way we acted, the things that pissed us off and made us love, and all these things.
Is there anything that you revealed?
Yeah, because I'm really sarcastic. I'm an extremely sarcastic person. I have a very I kind of see the world as okay, here we go. And so Alan Heinberg wrote Danny that way, and so I'd probably say I'm extremely like my character, because Danny always sees kind of like the danger, the potential bad in every situation, and is kind of like, we should be cautious, we should chill out, and then when no one listens to him, he's kind of sarcastic, and that's who I am. So I think that's what makes the show so fun, is a lot of us on the show are just being ourselves in the circumstances that they give us to play in. So it's a good question.
Martin Olga is asking, who is the most fun to shoot scenes with?
Thanks for the question, Olga. I haven't had much to do with Jessica Capshaw, but we had a couple of scenes this last episode, and we probably had a little too much fun.
So they separated you again?
I don't know if the DP had his way. I think he would definitely keep us apart. I think we just have a very similar sense of humor, and we joked around maybe way too much. But she's great. I like working with Kevin McKidd a lot. He's just sort of a no-nonsense, straight up, just something very strong and solid about him. Ellen, of course, she's fun to work with, because we're obviously building a relationship, so I kind of enjoy sort of the cat and mouse game of that, and yeah, so there's 3.
Joe, Betsy's asking, is there anything Papa Pope wouldn't do for his daughter?
And you're going to think this might be Betsy Beers, actually.
You know what?
She might have gotten
That's
in there.
exactly what I thought when I heard Betsy. I thought,
This
I
is a
wonder if
test.
this is Betsy Beers.
This
And
is a
is this a test? What was the question now that we've gone through all of
Sorry,
that?
sorry.
Is there anything Papa Pope wouldn't do for his daughter?
No. I mean, it depends. I think the way that our relationship is sort of set up, if she asks me not to get involved, then almost spitefully so, he'll not get involved and allow whatever to happen only to turn around kind of like your character and say, see, I told you. But no, I mean, I think that the entire thrust of his character is to keep her safe, along with the Republic. And obviously, the conflicts come about when he has to figure out how to do both at the same time. But I doubt there seems to be nothing he would not do for her, if that's correct. Is that a double negative?
Well, and all it just means he loves his daughter.
There you go.
Yeah.
Jay, Kim wants to know, what does it feel like to be a part of TGIT?
Well, I would probably just say again, I mean, it's exhilarating and it's a lot of fun, but I mean, I'm not going to lie about, you feel a little bit of pressure because your guys' shows are amazing. Like, I watch Grace. Like, I mean, I've loved you since Terminator 2. When you did the dive, when you died, and then I was like, I want to be like Joe. I want to play an awesome bad guy and an unbelievable good guy, and be able to go back and forth. So like, I'm fans of your guys'. So when they say, "What's it like?" It's a little intimidating. It's a little bit of pressure, but I like that. I like that feeling because I think our show is great, and I think that we have a really good story to tell, and I feel like we may, as our sophomores, we might be able to hang with you upperclassmen for a little bit. So, yeah, that's how it is.
Now, are you all hearing the questions well, or should we repeat the question and our answer?
No, I hadn't even thought of that.
Okay. Okay.
Paula is asking, which character would you like Nathan to be friends with?
Paula is asking what character Martin, would like my character Nathan to be friends with. Let me think. I would like Nathan with Alex. I think I'd like to be friends with Alex, just because I love Justin so much, and we've had very few scenes together. In fact, I think there might be tonight. We have a little episode where we go at it. He hates my character, but I like him personally. I liked working with him so much. I think it'd be fun to explore that friendship. So maybe that could be down the road next season. I don't know. Thanks, Paula.
Joe, Jordy's asking, what are you looking forward to this season?
Jordy, what am I looking forward to this season? This season is a lot of big changes going on. You know what I'm looking forward to? Because I have no idea what's going to happen, how we're going to wind up at the end of this season. That's what I'm looking forward to. I have no idea where any of this is going. What I'm looking forward to is how we end this season.
Do you think the audience are aware how little we know about what each? Well, I don't know about you guys, but we don't know anything until the next episode and the next episode.
Yeah, I think all those shows are the same in that we don't know anything until we get to the table read, right? Yeah.
Right.
So the only information we have is the history, what you've done already, the history of the character, and what's in front of you. So it's kind of like life like that, I suppose, in that you don't know what tomorrow will bring.
Right.
Jay, Tanya's asking, how do you feel about being surrounded by so many kick-ass women at the firm?
Tanya, that's a great question. How do I feel about being surrounded by so many kick-ass women?
Happy.
I feel great about it. I mean, they're gorgeous, smart, funny women that I get to go to work with every day. And the great thing I think about this season is it's not just like a case of the week drama anymore. There's a lot more lighter moments, places where we're allowed to kind of make it a little bit of a comedy. And, you know, Elvie and Mireille and Rose are, you know, they're really good. And so it's fun to play with them and kind of watch them kind of hit those moments and be there for it. So it feels really good.
Martin, is it easy for you to get out and into character? Asks Klaus.
Klaus is wondering if it's easy for me to get in and out of character. Yeah. I don't really think about it that much. I think similar to what Jay was saying, I think Shonda, when I first got the job, you know, we had the meeting and I drove home and I was like, I think I kind of said yes. So I called Shonda back. I was like, I think I said yes, but I don't know who I'm playing. Like, I know we're talking about Grey's Anatomy and I'm going to be on it, but who's my character going to be? And she said, oh, no, don't worry about that. We'll figure that out. You're going to be a doctor. I'm like, well, yeah, I figured I'd be a doctor. But,
Okay.
you know, and I think there is an element of sort of improvisation where they tend to try to write to you. We didn't have the opportunity to sit down in the way you did with your showrunner. I didn't do that. But I think certainly Shonda looks at you in scenes and sees your dynamic with a particular character, another actor, and sort of goes, oh, that's an interesting part of their persona, and they start writing that in. So there is this sort of emerging sometimes between you and your character. So I don't feel like it's this giant leap, other than obviously, you know, when it's the real technical doctor stuff, sometimes, you know, there's a certain mindset I try to approach those scenes with that I feel that a real doctor would, based on just research and watching some real surgeries and stuff like that. So those are the scenes probably where, you know, I have to sort of really think about, okay, as a doctor, how would you approach the situation physically, and the way you instruct nurses or communicate things to other doctors and patient relations and things like that. I have to think about that a lot, but so yeah, there you go.
What's my favorite part about being Papa Pope? Megan asks. You know what? Most of my career I spent doing good guys. That was on purpose because as I started becoming an actor, late 60s, a lot of the roles that were being given to black men in those days were pimps and drug dealers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided that what I wanted to do was to, in a manner of speaking, put a portfolio together of a series of black men that I would create along the way that were all positive images, or were struggling in some way, but were not sort of your average boogeyman, until, of course, I got a call from ABC saying, would you like to come on and be Papa Pope? And at first, it wasn't like in your case, it wasn't clear where they were going with Papa Pope until we got to season 3, and I realized, oh, I'm supposed to be this, what people call bad guys. See, I don't believe in bad guys. I think that anyone who gets a chance to play a villain has to play that villain as if that villain has decided that what he or she is doing makes the world a better place, either their world or the world in general. So from that standpoint, playing Papa Pope is just an enormous pleasure because he is continually sort of sweeping things away to make the world a better place.
Right.
This is our last question for Jay. Who is the funniest person on the show?
Julie, you want to know who the funniest person on the show is? Not me, I guess. No. You know, honestly, I think the funniest person on the show is Peter Krause. He is the biggest goofball. It is hard. That's probably why they don't let us do scenes together at all. Pete and I, no scenes together. Because he makes the crew laugh so much that it's hard to like get working because he's on his own, like he's doing bits off the camera and then he's doing bits on camera. It's hard to keep a straight face, especially because he does that thing where in a scene, if he feels like you're going to break, you might be close.
To laugh.
He'll be like, well,
He's gonna push it.
yeah, screw the scene. You're gonna
let's
break,
make
and then
you laugh.
we'll get a take that's usable. So I think Pete's definitely the goofiest, if not the funniest. And I think that's all we have time for.
Okay.
I think those
I
are all
think
the
that's
questions.
Well, thanks everybody for your questions.
Absolutely.
That was
and
fun.
Tune into the season premiere of The Catch tonight. At 8 o'clock, Grey's Anatomy. 9 o'clock, Scandal, and then we'll come
Wrap
right
it up.
behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TGI.
Bye, everybody.